as Nashville price points increase, so we all understand that Nashville is increasing in cost. We all feel it, right? And what is the biggest hurdle into entering into what we will identify as a luxury market? Because now in our market, you know, the median price point was hovering around $450 for a minute. It's going up from there. So it's really nothing for a buyer to look at a house that is 8, 9 into the $1 million price point. So as a minority agent, you know, what are we doing to better serve our clients that want to get into those price points or are in those price points? Terry?
Well, I'll say for myself, I try to educate myself on the different areas here that are having the increases in the prices, where, you know, you got some that were easily probably 2 years ago, homes that were maybe 600,000 are now $1 million. So I try to educate myself, and I try to get in the same room with the people that are having either the broker opens. I may go to the broker opens. I'm out there touring and trying to find out, to learn more about those areas. And I know, like last year, I got my CLHMS, which is the Certified Luxury Home Marketing Specialist.
I was going to say, you need to note that you have that.
Oh, it's noted.
Yeah.
So
it is noted.
Right, because that's when I think we have to make sure that we are educating ourselves so that our clients know that we're just not someone who got a realtor license and left it at that.
Right.
But we're constantly out here making sure that we're better agents and getting informed, and that we're going to be prepared to give them the best that we can to when we're out here, whether we're helping them sell or buy. So for me, that's what I'm doing. I'm just trying to make sure I'm staying up on the trends, what's going on, staying in different broker groups, and just making sure that I'm in the know with the right people who can. Sometimes, you know, it's all about who you know in some of these properties, especially if you're trying to get off market.
Sure. Okay.
I think when you're talking about how do we get into those luxury opportunities, you know, the funny thing was I was running numbers the other day, and I'm like, you could really buy $1 million home if you're strategic after your third, or probably about your third, maybe fourth home. Yeah. It's you know, the rolling in the equity, the understanding higher down payments, getting rid of PMI, still being intentional about your income. A lot of those things kind of come into play, and sometimes there are some benefits with different lenders by using jumbo mortgages. You know, a lot of those things come into play, but it starts with the first one. And I think people get stuck on dream home day one, and it just messes them up, especially in a high value market like Nashville. And you know, what we know is that I tell my clients, if you go and get the first home, it's the first home. Call it the first home. And paint and carpet should not be determining factors. You know, I don't want to be 25 minutes from downtown. I want to be 15. It ain't that crucial. I mean, it's really helping them move past, because we're trying to get them in the house 2, 3, and 4, where you really start seeing those paydays that are crazy. I mean, I'm sure y'all have seen those Alta statements where it's like, wow. And so nonetheless, I think that's the bigger thing, is just helping them understand the importance of the first one and how to be flexible in those expectations. Be where you are, be where you can afford, and then keep playing the game over and over until you get those opportunities, because that's what a lot of people have done. They don't show up in $1 million houses day one. They've owned real estate for quite some time in their families. So.
Yeah. That's very good. So what I'm doing, I started a team. So I brought on a team member so that my team member can kind of start handling some of my first-time home buyers, and that I can kind of focus on some of my second and third, you know, home buyers and sellers that are moving up in house. And then also, I think it's also just really about, for me, providing stellar service like every time. Don't always, you know, and let's be honest, we're all human. We don't always hit it out of the park every time, but always providing stellar customer service, right? So if I'm wrong, say I'm wrong and make the correction, so that even in that, people will still come back to me and want to use me because I provided good service to them. And so for my business has been completely referral based. And so I want to be able to, like, if I sold a house to someone that was $500,000, next time they're going to buy $800, $850, $950. So I want to be there to serve them for that, right? So that's kind of what I'm doing, is just trying to make sure that I'm growing my team and then providing excellent customer service, because my business is based on referrals. right? Yeah. Any other thoughts?
Well, I would say
yeah.
mine is a combination of staying abreast on educating myself on different areas and what's happening in those areas. Definitely understanding enough about finances. I'm not as, I don't have the banking background, but I do understand what rolling equity into another property looks like and how your first home can set you up for that. So the education piece to my clients and to myself, and then building a team or working along with the people, because I'm from a very small brokerage firm, working with my peers to say, how can we better serve X client, because this is where they are.
Yeah. And I think also working together, I think, Dion and I have done some deals together. So I think also partnerships. Like, how are you leveraging partnerships to help kind of grow your business?
Well, I can say, after being in the business 9 years, I've had several transactions, and I've had, some of those same agents on the other side to come back to me and say, hey, I want to refer this person to you. I know you'll take really good care of them because of our transaction together. So I definitely leverage those relationships, and I do the same for them. I keep in touch. I follow up with them, and sometimes we have lunch after a transaction closes. So you're right. This business has a lot to do with relationships, and you definitely have to know how to leverage them to serve your clients at the highest capacity.
Yeah, and I also will say, kind of going back to that misperception question, I think maybe our community thinks we only talk to each other.
Or that we don't talk at all.
Or we don't talk at all.
Because we're always competing.
Yes, yeah. We do work a lot together, and we work with our counterparts a lot, and I think that's also important. Like I was saying earlier, you don't know who I know, or who I have a relationship with, So the reason why some of y'all are at this table is because we are involved in our association, we're involved with our brokerages, we are actually working full-time realtors, so we're constantly going to open houses and seeing people and doing deals with people. So I think, growing relationships is so important. So when you do get to a certain level in your business, when you write that contract, the agent on the other side will say, oh, I know Terry, I know Tara, I know Dion, I know TJ, I know Tiffany. I know that they will get their buyer to the closing table, right? So it's all about those relationships.